Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Head looking kind of ragged. Just got done with my walk. It was kind of cold today, so I'm gonna do a brief video. Think I'm gonna go ahead and talk about how letting go of your past and forgiving yourself for past mistakes will allow you to open up to new experiences in the future. First off, I need to say that this video is for entertainment purposes. I'm not pretending to be a expert in anything I talk about. These are just my personal thoughts and opinions on the universe and how I feel about things that occur in it and occur to me. So, a lot of times we go through life always thinking about our past mistakes and, the mistakes that we made, when we were younger. And, a lot of times it prevents us from either doing something similar or maybe even doing the exact same thing at a time when you're older and more mature and able to do it better. So, I made a lot of mistakes in my past. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. There was a lot of pressure to do things that weren't probably the best things for me. And, young, impressionable mind, everyone else around me doing the same thing. So, eventually I fell into the black hole of peer pressure, and I made a few questionable decisions that, until to this day, prevent me from, experiencing the plans that I had set for my own life. Um, I can't get certain jobs because of my history. Um, I have a certain temperament and a certain personality that was built upon my experiences growing up on the south side of Chicago. I'm a little rough around the edges, and I really don't, want myself any other way. Because this is me. This is how I know to be. Um, but there are a lot of things in my past that I've done that have stuck with me that I haven't forgiven myself for. Even to this day, I battle with it. And as I get into my mid 40s, I'm learning how to, I don't want to say re-experiencing them because that's not exactly what you should do. Think about them, process them, um, don't dwell on them. I have a tendency to look at my past mistakes as, who I am. And, I'm not that person. I evolve, everyone evolves, and we have to take our experiences individually and use them to help us grow, not let them hold us back from experiencing life. Okay, let me come up with a specific example to show what I'm trying to talk about. Um, so in my teens, I made a bad decision of I guess I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. I made a bad decision of selling drugs on the streets of Chicago. Like I said, I gave in to peer pressure, and that decision haunts me to this day because I have a felony on my record. And I battle. Not only do I have to battle the social stigma that comes with being a felon, I have to battle corporate. I can only apply at certain jobs. It's getting a little lax now. There are certain places that didn't used to hire convicted felons that I guess do now. So I guess that's kind of going by the wayside. But uh, you know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's very difficult for me to do anything other than fast food and maybe some retail. And I had skills and abilities to do other jobs. I would do interviews, and I would tear the interviews up, and I would get the job. But then I'd get a call a few days later telling me I can't work there because of my felony. And even to this day, it's something that haunts me. My most recent job, I was actually surprised that I got it because of my history. Um, that wasn't the only mistake I made. There are several others. But what I had, what that experience ingrained in me was that I'm a felon. Like, that's all that I am. And, I shouldn't even try to be a regular member of society because I'm not. That's how I felt about myself. And, that's not healthy. First of all, it's not true. You know, that part of my life, it was in my teens and my 20s, and I was immature. I never really had a stable father figure. Um, that's a whole nother story. But I never matured when I should. I had to use my own life experiences to do it, and it took a little longer than it should have. So now I'm at that point where I'm starting to understand I'm not that convicted felon. I'm something else, which is much more than that. And, I had to break out of that. And, I think I can't pinpoint a time when I broke out of that way of thinking, but it's not there now. I feel remnants of it every now and then, especially now that I'm pursuing this writing career. All those doubts of before are creeping back into my head. But that one specific experience is one example of a host of things that happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to you as well. Not exactly what happened to me, but I'm sure there are other experiences that you suffered through that created a stigma and made you believe you to be some kind of person that you're not. Our brain is so strong, our subconscious is so powerful that a belief that we have of ourselves becomes rooted and becomes a basis of our personality, and it makes us who we are. And we don't do it when we form a belief inside of us, and it's inside of us. Our subconscious grabs it and makes it a foundation of our personality and the way we live our lives. And the belief that I had that I was only a felon and couldn't do nothing else was rooted deep inside of my psyche. And it took a while for it to be pulled up, but I think it is now. You know, I look at that part of my life. It was a stupid mistake, but I didn't know any better. I did what was in front of me. Looking back on it now, if I hadn't experienced that, I wouldn't be talking about it now. I wouldn't have grown from it. I wouldn't have got the strength from that experience. The experience of going to jail and prison is a learning experience. I'll tell you that. But so yeah, don't allow your past and your mistakes of the past to affect your future. Um, I don't want to say let them go, but don't dwell on them. Bring them into focus. Process it, and you can't let it go because it happens to you and it's a part of you. But at the same time, you can't hold it. So I guess let it pass. See, I'm learning about myself as much as I'm trying to teach y'all. So these videos are off the cuff, and I'm exploring my thoughts as I have them on this video. So yeah, I guess the best thing to do would be to let them pass, not dwell on them. Recognize them as a part of you, but not the only part of you. We evolve, we continue to grow every 7 years. I made a video a while back about every 7 years how our body replaces every cell in our body. So look into that 7-year period. Go back and look at that video. But yeah, our past is our past. It happened. There's nothing we can do to change it. We can't dwell on it. It'll affect what we do in the future, what we do in the present, and then it'll affect our future. So grab it, hold it, process it, and can't say that word. Process it and let it pass. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to try to do these videos as often as I can.